So just real quick, if you are new to the Fight series is a short novella book series. Each book is under 100 pages. The fourth one is being worked on now. It's in the editing process and hopefully will be published by the end of the month or the beginning of September. So that's super exciting. It's kind of been um, oh gosh, how many years has it been? I guess 6 years in the making. The first book was published in 2017, and for the fourth book is the finale. So that's why it kind of took a bit. Plus, I was in school. I got other jobs. I've got a million things going on. So, and plus, it was kind of an emotional therapy session process, everything, because of how emotional and intense that the series really is. And if you've read any of the books of the series, then you know. And I love hearing all the testimonies. It's pretty amazing. So please leave a review because I think any book um, can hit people differently, whether you're a veteran or not. And that's kind of the neat thing about it because it's written in a very generalized way where whether you've served or not, I mean, we're human. We face daily challenges, whether it's just dealing with people, just dealing with ourselves, and it's written in such a way where I try not to give too many details about one thing or another because whether you, even if you've served, I mean, there's different ranks, there's different experiences. Some people loved their experience in the military, some didn't, and there's just different reasons why. And um, but the unique thing about being a veteran and coming home, it's it can be challenging for a lot of us. And for me, I lived out of my truck for a while. Didn't have a job. It's very hard to find a job. It took forever. And then when the one time I did find a job, it went out of business a few months in. So, I mean, it's everyone has a different experience. Not all veterans are hurting. Not all veterans are on drugs or homeless, and it's meant to give awareness and a voice to those who don't know what to say. They're struggling, but they're struggling alone. They don't know what to say. They don't know what to do. Either they have or have not tried to reach out to the VA. They may or may not have tried to call the hotlines. Some people have good experiences with those, and some don't. It just didn't work for them. And unfortunately, there are countless of variables that that are involved with facing these internal demons, these challenges. And sometimes it's something simple. Um, just trying to adapt to new stresses in life, whether it's a new baby on the way and you don't know what to do, or you keep accumulating bills and now they're threatening to cut off your utilities or something like that. And yet the job market may not be that great, though right now everyone's hiring, um, but then there's inflation, and then so even if you get a job, does it pay for everything? So there's so many things, so many moving parts, and so many things. And you try to be positive. You try to find the motivation and inspiration. You look across the social media, like, yeah, you can do it. Stay motivated. You just do one, two, three, and you can get it. It just takes time. It just got to build. And it's like, that's great and all, but some people, that just doesn't work like that. And so that's why I really try to get veterans to just talk. It's another reason why the Fight series is a very thought provoking discussion topic. Maybe if you're a family member of a veteran, just getting them to talk is a challenge. And sometimes, sometimes words just doesn't feel like it would fix anything. But at the same time, especially if you've read the Fight series and you kind of know there's, it's almost like there's there's two different people inside of us where it's like our own voice and yet it's that part of us that we feel like we left behind. And it's sometimes it can be very, even now it's difficult to describe to someone who's never served or just wasn't there. You feel like you're just alone. And the Fight series was supposed to help people find words, find peace of mind, maybe that they're not alone, that if someone wrote about this, that other people may be feeling the same thing, or that you felt like you were the only one who went through that type of struggle, and that's really not true. And so if you are able to help anyone in any way, it's not just money. That's just it. You don't need money to help everybody. Some people just want someone to listen to. Sometimes a stranger just listening to you vent about everything can just mean so much. Just getting it off your chest. You just don't want to talk to your family because of so many reasons. You don't want to talk to your spouse because of so many reasons. Maybe your kids, they're too young for it. You just never been there. Don't even, you don't want them thinking like that. Find another veteran. Find someone you can just open up to. Just general discussions. Start out by the weather, maybe learning new things about their kids. Hey, they started school. Hey, they got an A on this huge report. They've been working on months or something, some project. There's it's okay to start off with generalized topics and then work your way into, the stresses of life. And um, I also have these type thoughts and whatnot. Maybe if you're just comparing of a movie you just watched and you're just like, oh my gosh, this character was doing through this and it hit me and now I can't seem to get myself out of that state of mind. I'm just saying it's daily life things that really affect us, and this is if you're a veteran or not. So you're not alone. Trust me, you're not alone. And I felt alone when I first got out. So I get it. I'm nowhere really near a military base, but even then, the veterans I did come across, I didn't think I could communicate well with them because I wasn't, cool in the military. I didn't do anything. My MOS was, I'm a pogue, so infantry, they're typical infantry, but it it's hard to communicate with people who just don't have it. They're like, oh, you did that. Oh, you were stationed there. I'm not gonna talk to you. And it was hard for me to communicate even with veterans. So I was like, okay, my family doesn't understand me. Veterans basically tell myself F off. I was going through divorce at the time. I was jumping couch to couch. There was time I was sleeping in my truck, how I jumped into school. I was so alone and felt so broken. One night I forced myself to call the VA, my local VA. It's changed now. I think they even changed buildings, but at the time, this was many years ago, um, I called them and they said, were you medically discharged? And I told them, well, no, but as far as I know, I just need to make a schedule, an appointment to speak to a counselor or somebody. And they said, well, you aren't medically discharged, so we can't see you. I was like, what? What are you talking about? Because I'd never heard of that stipulation before. I know it's a lie now, but at the time I didn't know. I was naive at the time, but at the same time I was also very confused. I was thinking of killing myself. I tried to kill myself. It didn't work out. I was panicking, but then I was more mad at anything. So it was like for those few minutes, I was more mad at the VA than I guess severely depressed of killing myself. So I was like, what the hell am I gonna do now? So it was like a very complicated time for me. Somehow I managed, and here I am still. But that was like, golly, it's been 10 years now. I think it was 10 years that I did that. But I know that was inaccurate information, but at the time I was like, what am I supposed to do? The VA didn't, deny me. Veterans basically told me to go F myself, and my husband or ex-husband had nothing to do with me. He went to another state, and that was the end of it. And I never saw him again. So it was so dark and lonely. And that's eventually I talked myself into just writing. I was like, what is one thing I'm good at? I'm good at writing. And maybe a veteran or someone will listen to me because I miss the military. I feel like I failed. I feel that I could have done more. But I was chaptered out because I got injured. And my unit was going to Afghanistan. So they chaptered me out. I should have pushed to get medically discharged, but it didn't. I was like, okay, well, if you're just gonna throw me under the bus because I'm injured, then F all of you. Here's the bird. Just get me out of here. It was a very dark time. I was not so pleasant marriage at that time too, while still in the military. So it was like with everything piling up against me. I didn't have friends. My only friends were my ex's friends, and it was just such a lonely state of mind. So when I was struggling to get out of the military, I realized the VA has resources, and yet I didn't have access to them. I didn't feel that I did. There's a lot of misinformation, and it was partly my fault because my brain just was not clicking what could work for me. But now I'm seeing just tons of veterans organizations and resources coming out. I still don't like to ask for help though, because what do I need? I need money to buy my children shoes and school supplies and stuff like that. So when I had my youngest, DV Radio had stepped in to help, and so did um, Patriots Project, and I think they were it. Because I tried to reach out for um, Coda Vets, and that didn't work out. So people did pull through, but that was because I reached out to veterans who understood my situation, and I still don't like to ask for help. I struggle all the time. I'm a little more open about it now, though I wear my heart on my sleeve. But trust me, I know I'm not alone. You're not alone. But I really try to push myself to keep fighting the fight. And it's like, well, what am I fighting for? My kids? It seems to be like the bottom line. Am I fighting for my kids? I don't know. I think I am. I'd kill for them. I'd die for them. But just sometimes, just because I have a family, I have 2 businesses, I have a full-time job, I have a husband, I have a lot going for me. So outside looking in, it looks like I am just killing it. Yeah, I write books, I have interviews on podcasts. I am starting to communicate more with more veterans and finally reaching different veterans organizations that are willing to hear that mental health side that people don't like talking about. Okay, people are aware that there is PTSD, that there's shell shock, that there's more going on inside than anyone will admit, even the VA, I feel like. Um, but it's still difficult to just accept who I am, that I had my own way of helping the veteran community. I wish I could help more. I wish I could donate more money to the homeless. I wish I could provide homes for those who are losing their homes. I wish I could do that, but I can't. I am just good with words. And that is, unfortunately, I'm just spreading awareness. I'm just screaming into the void that veterans need help. They need resources. They actually need help. Yeah, people are aware that they need help, but they need more psychological help. Money only does so much. Organizations like Coda Vets and such, they will provide finances if you need help to pay utilities or something like that. Great. Some people, that's all they need. Sometimes, though, there are things that are so dark and deep within that money, okay, cool, they didn't get kicked out of the house, but it's still like there's a darkness inside of them. It's just consuming. It's it's tiresome. It can be gruesome at times, and it's actually very hard to describe when you get to that rock bottom. Because sometimes there's times where I'm like, this is it. This is rock bottom. Can't get any worse. The only way to go is up. And then it was like I woke up and I felt like the ground just was removed. It was like, okay, I didn't hit rock bottom. Things can get worse. And so it it's been a rough journey, and writing Fight has helped me with that. And because of Fight, I have met so many of you, some amazing people. Just the world doesn't seem as lonely when you actually can communicate with people on a more deeper level. Likes, great. Book sales would be amazing. Not gonna lie. So would more reviews. There's only so much begging I can do for that. But, so that's why if you have read the Fight series, definitely leave a review. Because I think it has so many messages that so many veterans probably need to hear, or their family and friends, loved ones, that would love to know just different things that veterans face, just different perspectives that veterans can face. Now, not everyone is going to feel that way, but just still, just give them some perspective in case someone is having a bad day, or if there's something they just don't want to talk about. They understand why. They may not know exactly why, but still, like, okay, we won't push. So, yeah, that's why I'm always pushing to at least count, to count at least 3 things that have happened to you, that are positive, that are good. And it can be anything. For instance, if it were to just downpour right now, I would say that is definitely a plus, because Texas hasn't seen rain in forever. But it doesn't have to be anything grand. You don't have to win the lottery for it to be good. Maybe you found $100 on the ground. I don't know. Something good. My kid started school today. That was a positive. I ran a 5K. That was my second positive. And another good thing is I actually have time to make another video. And I'm sure there's more to come because I don't even know what time it is. I don't know. But still, it's going to be a great day. It's been productive so far. But hopefully you're able to count 3 good things. And please look into the fight series. And if you have, definitely leave a review. And keep in mind, you are not alone. And if you feel that you're in a pretty good state, help someone else out. And it doesn't have to be grand. You don't have to give them money. You don't have to give them your social. You don't have to go like crazy with it. Just sometimes it's as simple as just being a friend, showing kindness so that that person doesn't feel invisible. They don't feel invisible. They don't, especially the community, the disabled veterans community. I've tried donating to those organizations that actually provide services for them, because I have heard some stories from them, some of them, that they feel alone in their own way, as far as people feel feel sorry for them. They hate that. And it does break my heart. But there's only so much I can do to help them. But I will listen. And I know that a lot of things just get, I can't think of the word for it. My mind is starting to glitch. It has its moments. This is why I don't do speeches. I don't know. I guess it's my anxiety. My mind is not here right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this video, but hopefully you're able to count 3 good things that happened today and keep fighting the fight. Please check out the fight series. I have started another project, if you will. Hopefully it's my first novel. It's called Fighting Me. It's more of a women's veteran, like a female veteran type perspective, but it's supposed to be more fun about it. Fight is a little dark, I admit, but Fighting Me, I feel, is more fun, more different perspective on how to face issues and different flaws within just being a female who's a mother and trying to just survive and trying to who just happens to be a veteran. So it's not really pushing towards veterans awareness, but at the same time, it's called Fighting Me for a reason. And I can't wait for y'all to read it. But definitely be honest in reviews, especially for the fight series, because it's got a mission. It's got a voice. It's got so much emotion that I think people need to understand that it's real. PTSD is real, mental health is real, depression is real, suicide thoughts are a thing. I had them recently. You know this if you've seen my latest videos or posts. So I'm better now, but I'm still processing through it. I'm more like in a semi-depressed state. I'm not really thinking about committing suicide, but it's still there. The shadow is still there. So I'm going to be positive, though, especially now that I've got projects going on. It keeps me busy, especially my mind busy. So I'm going to keep positive. Hopefully you do too. And I'll see y'all next time.